Being authentic is key to anything in life. And you need to be willing to fight for it in all things. I first and foremost, welcome back. This is The Black Alternative. I'm Lasha, your host. Just so you know, it's Lasha with an L, like Sasha with an L. I touched a little bit about what the show is about last time we spoke. This is just a commentary, discussions about alternative subculture and living your life, your best life, your not your best life, just living your life unapologetically as a Black alternative person, a person of color, a person that does whatever the fuck they want to do with their life without worry or fear of subjugation or shame or having to answer any fucking questions about why you do what you do. But in order to do that, you need to be authentic with who you are. And one of the things that that makes you authentic is telling the truth about who you are. There's no need to misrepresent yourself. There's no reason to be anything other than who you are. And believe me, who you are is enough. It's always going to be enough. There's only one person out there like you. And that's the fuck enough. Honestly, it's enough. The last video that we did, or that I did, we were kind of touching on Black subculture, and I have still been kind of delving into this whole cesspool of reality TV, and boy, is my head exploding. One of the things that kind of got me into where I am today, and you have to excuse me because one, my cat just jumped on the bed and I'm a little pissed at her ass. And two, yeah, I looked at you. Don't look at me with that face. She's judging me. Anyway, one of the things that I did was I started watching this show called Jocelyn's Cat. Well, I didn't start watching it. I got on this forum on Facebook, and I started watching the show, watching the ladies interact on this forum for this show called Jocelyn's Cabaret. I was curious because I know who Jocelyn is. I used to watch Love and Hip Hop. Love and Hip Hop. I'm not really sure which one she's on. New York, because I was a Joe Budden fan for a minute. And so I know who Jocelyn was, and I know she was a lot. She was a lot, and I'm a lot at times, so I can respect that. But she's grown, so let me check it out. I decided to watch the first 2 episodes of Atlanta, not Vegas. The first 2 episodes of Atlanta. And the reason why I had joined this forum is because I'm also an adult performer. I dance. And there was, in this group that I belong to of BBW dancers, there was a flyer going around for a reality show, and for her dance troupe, and they were looking for dancers. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to join it, but let me join the group and see what goes on in there. So I joined the group, and it's a big old shit show. And when I say shit show, I mean the amount of toxic, homophobic, transphobic, just disgusting. I mean, if you had gone into this group, you wouldn't think that there would be any sort of you would think that they were in like the last few stages of the show. That there was about to be the season finale, and that there was girls fighting, tearing each other's wigs off left and right, and they were going showdown, and it was like the final 4. You would think that it was about to be like the next few weeks was about to be like it. So one of the girls that they were talking about was this young girl named Gaia, and I was like, "Ooh, Mother Earth!" I'm a big old metaphysical person. I was so excited. And the young lady they were ripping her to shreds. and she had armpit hair, just a little bit. They had this beautiful picture of her just like this, gorgeous picture. And I was like, oh, she's adorable. But of course, none of the girls could think about anything else except for the fact that she had a little tuft of hair. And I mean, when I say little, I mean, it was like, and she's mixed. She's most likely half white and half black. But and remember, I said, just keep that in your mind. And they were just ripping her to shreds. So me being who I am, of course, I'm the biggest devil's advocate in the world. And I've lived my life too much to sit there and let people just get ganged up on, because you've seen a whole bunch of like room full of women going in on some girl just because she has a little bit of armpit hair. I'm like, y'all need to get over it. Not a big deal. So I became the person who was always going to bat for this young lady. So as the days go by, the weeks go by, I'm still doing research, trying to, get this channel in order and figure out what I'm going to talk about, and getting all sorts of nice little tidbits to talk to you guys about, internalized racism and all, internalized sexism, and how, Black men have, how Black men have worked together with white men to shape how we see each other and we portray ourselves on television, and how now we've created a culture where, we have an image of how we're supposed to act around not only each other, how we're supposed to treat each other, and how we're supposed to cater towards them, and how we disrespect each other. And all this stuff is blatantly on display here. So it starts to come out that this young lady has alternative religious choices. This young lady is a witch. No big deal. At first they say she's a Satan. First thing comes out is that she's a witch. And I'm like, ooh, well, so am I. And of course, I'm all about that noise because it's ringing true in my ears. And I'm super happy to even, know that there's someone like me on that could even be on any kind of ratchet TV. And not only is she on ratchet TV, but she's kicking ass. Okay. And these girls were scared of her. So I'm thinking Troll City. She's trolling them. She's putting them in there. She's running them through the paces. All these girls are, she's knocking them around. I've never seen one episode of the show, mind you. And I'm not getting ready to pay Zeus any money to, for this bullshit. I'm just not doing it. So, and just to clarify, the 2 episodes that I saw were on YouTube. So I still wasn't paying any money to see it. So, I'm watching this thing, and then I find out like 4 or 5 episodes in that this girl has been kicked off. But I'm starting to get a little bit upset because the girls are going in on her. So I'm like, I gotta watch this show. And then I start doing my research on her, and something's not adding up. The reason why the girls are starting to get upset is because she's throwing not only that she's a witch into it, but she's also a Christian. Now, mind you, there is nothing impossible about witchcraft and Christianity mixing. There is a certain tenet of Wiccanism, being Wiccan, that can intersect with Christianity where it doesn't come into play. However, I have come across way too many fake individuals who like to shock people that into thinking that that they are one thing when they're really not. And the problem that I have with that is it makes it dangerous for those like me who are actually in these spaces, who are practicing ethically. When I have women like these women here that I will most likely have to dance with later on, who are scared that I'm a Satan worshiper, who want nothing more than to kick me out of their space, who want to beat me up, who I'm going to have to fight, who I'm going to have to cut up, who I'm going to have to defend myself against, who I'm going to have to be on the defensive. I'm going to have to educate because someone has put themselves in a position where has misrepresented themselves. So I start doing my research on this young lady, and she is a fraud. I'm just going straight to the point. She's a fake, she's a fraud, she's a phony. Of course, her name's not Gaia. I just assumed that was her stage name. It is, of course. But no, she's not a millionaire. She barely moved to Las Vegas, the little girl. And I say little because she's barely 22. She's from Tennessee. you know. And yes, y'all, she is a wrestler. Don't get it twisted. That is her. That is right. She is a wrestler. She's been wrestling since she was 4 years old. She is a Christian. She's got a strong religious Christian background from her parents. They, you know, everybody in her family is very, from what I can tell, just by doing research, they are, you know, she's been touting about Jesus for a long time. But what she is not is a witch. She is not. She may have interest in it, but she's not. What she also is a huge liar. All the shit that you see on her Twitter feed, that is a lie. If you go far enough back on her Twitter feed, you will see some of the same stuff. The stuff about her daughter being kidnapped, you will see it. And as a matter of fact, let me see if I can share my screen. I'll show you. Because I got some receipts. Sharing my screen. Okay. Oh, let me do this. Oh, let me hide this stuff. Sorry, y'all. Hiding my meeting controls. They can see. Okay, there's a lot of stuff here. So let me get through all of this. Okay, so so this one right here is the please contact me if you've seen or know where my child is. This is the one that is like the one that's been on her timeline for a few days now. If you look at the date on this one says, oh, why did I grade that out? This one says December 16th, 2021. Okay. She's been touting the same thing, using the same picture with this guy, they're her daughter's father, since last year. Okay. I don't, the baby's the same age in this picture. It doesn't change or anything like that. She is spouting the same fucking rumors with this kid. Let's see, here's another one. This is a blank page. Let's see. This girl is a mess. She supports Riley Reid, who's a super fucking racist. Here's another one. Okay, so she's sitting here talking about how she's like a super, you know, religious Jesus freak and all that stuff. This girl is like strictly hip hop. I don't know what kind of like what she was trying to portray when she was on the show, how godly she is, but this is her. This is who she is. I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me tell you, I got this ring. This is who she should have been on the show. I mean, she would have done much better if she had portrayed this. This is what I'm talking about being authentic with who you are. She would have been just fine portraying that. She's not a witch. She's never been a witch. There's no reason. Oh, I don't know why I just got rid of that page. Hold on, let me get that page back. Oh, yes, this is the great Riley Reid, racist bitch. Okay, so that one's done. Yeah, this one where she doesn't want to be Black, but you know, she wants to be Black on TV. I don't get it. Another one of those. So, one of the things that really bothers me about this young lady is, I'm gonna stop share for just a second. she is mentally ill. She's not wild and crazy. I believe that she seriously has schizophrenia. The acting and everything that she does on TV, that is not witchcraft. That is mental illness. She's literally sick. When I've been reaching out to her, I've reached out to her on Instagram. I have reached out. Her Instagram got shut down. I reached out to her on her video. As a matter of fact, I will put that up because y'all need to see that one as well. One of the things that really kind of ticked me off about her, which is why this video even came to be, is I don't like when people are fake and phony and when they give or mislead others intentionally. And one of the things that she did to mislead you guys is incorrectly reading tarots. When you're being misled, especially with tarot readings, people believe those things. People put stock into the guidance that people are supposedly with gifts bestow upon the general public. If you are getting paid to give people tarot readings, if you are getting paid and you want to run a church, you want to give people spiritual guidance, people are going to be putting their trust into you. You are not the person that should be giving spiritual guidance to anybody. You do not deserve that kind of power. You have not you have not earned it. You haven't demonstrated the ability to have any kind of self-control. You are a violent individual. You provoke fights. You sit and lie in wait in order to attack. You take a person that you are supposed to be exalting and worshiping, and you use it as a weapon to physically assault others. And then you wrap it up in a package where someone who actually believes that, and then you pervert it with another teaching that others are vehemently opposed to. And when I say pervert, I really mean, because this is something that I believe in as well. I would feel perverted when you sit there and try to shove Christianity down my throat, because that's not a teaching that I ascribe to. I'm a polytheist. Those two don't work for me. And especially, you can't, for me, those two don't work. And then on your timeline, you say that you're into voodoo as well, which is another misrepresentation, because you having a mother of no color, there's no way that an Orisha or anyone of that kind of background would take you on as a student to teach you any of their teachings. Girl, you can't even read a tarot deck right. I'm sitting here looking at your I Quit the Strip Club video and telling you right now, your translation of tarot cards is completely wrong. I have your translation right here. I mean, just your first 3 cards alone were full of shit. I mean, let's see, your first 3 cards. If you look, the first 3 cards in your deck were the 5 of Swords, the 8 of Wands, and the Queen of Pentacles. In that order. And no, not even in that order. It was the 5 of Wands first. I mean, the 5 of Swords first, and the 8 of Wands. Those two together, followed by the Queen of Pentacles. And the question that you asked was about strip clubs and were they going to be going down? And that's a stupid question anyway, because that's a huge industry. You as one person do not have the power to take care of that. So that was a lame question to ask about that anyway. In that headspace that you were in, those cards were trying to tell you something, okay? For your career aspirations, Let me tell you what those cards meant, okay? The Fives of Swords, this card right here, no, this is Queen of Pentacles. This Five of Swords right here, okay? This Five of Swords was supposed to be telling you that you were dealing with a lack of communication, okay? You were finding yourself in a position where you were trying to, you're always finding yourself in a position where you're trying to defend yourself, okay? And you needed to choose your words wisely, which you did not. You were self-sabotaging yourself. You were self-sabotaging. You don't deserve, I mean, you're doing yourself a disservice and the people around you with this card. You're speaking, you need to be speaking with purpose. You need to remember that kindness is going to take you a long way when you're trying to resolve a problem. You're feeling like right now would have been the time for you to be taking care of that. You're talking about all the stuff that's going on in your life with you living in Vegas and all that. You should have been taking the time to figure that out. This card right here was telling you about your workplace stuff, and it was telling you that maybe you were probably the problem. You need to be examining yourself as a 22-year-old woman. You need to be telling yourself that sometimes you are part of the problem. Then you pulled the Eight of Swords and the Eight of Wands, okay? That's a news card. You were supposed to be getting some information. I reached out to you, trying to let you know that I was here to help you. And the reason I reached out to you was because I saw how much hate you were getting. And I knew that someone in your position, if you were who you said you were, could use some help. And I know other people were trying to do that to you too. But you're in such a position right now where you just want to use everybody else and you want to find your 15 minutes of fame. And I saw that and I read right into that. But that Eight of Wands was trying to take you to the next level. And you squandered that. And that Queen of Pentacles, was a money card. And that was a good sign. It's telling you that you were supposed to be practicing self-development right now, which means you should be taking your ass back to school. You should be taking your ass back to the University of Tennessee, bitch. That's where you should be going, back to the University of Tennessee, where you're from. Take your ass back to the University of Tennessee and join the WWE while you're at it. You've been wrestling since the age of 4. That's where your ass needs to go. Back to the WWE instead of being worried about what these stripper bitches are doing. That is not your niche. You need to go home, be with your mother and your father and your little brother. That's where you need to go right now. Go home to them. You are way out of your depths. Go home. Stop lying. You are done. You have embarrassed yourself on national TV. Okay? You've left a bad taste in your mouth. You have embarrassed yourself. You've embarrassed your family. You need to go get your child. You need to take your ass back home to marry. You need to start being a better daughter. I don't know what kind of shit you got going on back home, but y'all need to get in therapy and figure that shit out because it's getting a little tiring. And you need to stop putting other people in danger because what you're doing right now is you're really fucking it up for the rest of us who are really trying to live our best lives. When it comes to Black women and spiritualism and anything alternative, and then you try to put those two together in a situation like that, you are setting off a powder keg. You are setting off a powder keg you don't know nothing about. Okay, I have to fight when I'm in spaces where Black women don't understand anything about alternative subculture. You don't understand what kind of damage you do. And maybe it's because you didn't grow up around a lot of Black women, but you got a taste of that. Some people are it takes a minute to get some people to understand what it's like to be different in it. And it's hard. They think you're better than them. They think, they don't know the difference between being spiritual and being religious. They think that just because you don't believe in Jesus, that you believe in the devil, or, they think all sorts of weird, ignorant things. And sometimes it takes a while. And sometimes it takes a soft hand. And sometimes it takes a minute to realize and get them to get a lot of people to understand, not even just Black people, but religious people in general. It takes them a while to understand that a lot of things aren't so black and white. No pun intended. A lot of things aren't. And you don't understand that because you don't really know anything about being a Black woman. You really don't. If I'm being honest, you really don't. You don't know shit about being a Black woman. You don't know what it's like having to deal with it because you weren't raised by one. You weren't involved in the culture. You don't have to fight for it. You just walked in with your Bible thinking that you could, create a character on TV and that you were going to be okay. No, you were not okay. And you're putting the rest of us in danger. And you don't understand the gravity of that because you don't live in the real world. Now you're stuck up in Vegas. I really wish I was still in Vegas, girl. I would find you. And we would have, I'd probably whoop your ass. I mean, I'd probably spank you or something, not whoop your ass, but we would have to have a long talk. And I say that as someone who's a mother. I say that as someone who's actually been you, not knowing what the hell I was talking about, but saying I used to say some whoppers when I was a kid, when I was just starting out and in high school and teenage, my teenage years. I can remember when I was like in 5th grade or something, telling everybody my sign was a vampire. Come on, I had some ridiculous shit. I have been there. I have been where you are. You have your story already on its own. Just what I know about you so far is interesting enough. You've won enough awards to be impressive as is. You don't need all of this. You don't need all the extras. You were good enough as is. And it really bothers me that you had to go that far. So I would really appreciate it. I'm not even asking you to apologize anymore because I know it's not even worth it. It just makes me feel better knowing that I got this much out, because there's going to be a reunion. There's going to be talked about later on. I feel even worse about it because going to bat for you. No, I don't feel bad about it because I would have gone to bat for anybody who was alternative and going through the same thing. I don't feel stupid either. I guess I do feel a little stupid because I just don't like to be played like that. I don't like to be, I feel like, fuck you, bitch. That's what I feel like. I feel like, well, fuck you, I feel like just beat her ass anyway. But at the same time, I get it. You didn't know what you were getting into, and it's not cool, but you do know now. You know now that you shouldn't have fucked around like that. Don't do it again. Don't do it again. It was unwise. And you're sitting there having Bible study and all that stuff. Please stop. You are not a priest. If you really want to have your own church, go back to school and get your theology degree. Start there, please. Because if that's something that you really want to do and you're passionate about, because you're doing Bible studies in the morning, go get your theology degree. Get some real knowledge in your head. Stop sitting there telling everyone you have a PhD. Girl, you haven't even graduated college. I've seen your LinkedIn page. You would be graduating next year if you were still in college. Stop. Stop fucking around. It's ridiculous. I mean, at this point, it's really, it's pathetic. I mean, I don't want to dox you. I really don't. I don't want to dox you. I don't even want to call your mom. I mean, I found your brother, I found your uncles, I found your cousins, I found your grandma, I found everybody. You're not hard to find. So I really wish you don't make it hard. You don't make it difficult at all. So for your sake, I will cut the bullshit. Finish your season out with Jocelyn's Cabaret. Make it work for you, but stop touting the God bullshit. Stop touting the witchcraft stuff. When you get there, let them know, yo, I'm not a witch. I overcompensated. Or just tell them you were having a mental break. But damn, don't run that. Don't run with that, please. For the love of whomever you pray to, don't run with that. Because if you do, I'm gonna be pissed, and you have no idea the fucking lengths I'm gonna go to in order to let everybody know that you are not who you say you are. I already reached out to their PR, so please just come correct. If you need some help, I'm not going to sit here and just offer you threats. I will offer you help and support. And if you need to know if I am a trustworthy and reasonable person, please ask about me. I am. You can reach out to the BIPOC support group that I am on the committee for. If you need to know if I'm a reputable person, if you need to know how to get any kind of help in order to walk yourself through this, you know, comfortably, calmly, and safely, you can have a network of supportive people who will help you in any way, shape, or form, especially as a sex worker. Girl, we have a whole network of resources that will help you out. You live in Las Vegas. Cupcake Girls is a really good method of support too for you. I run with a lot of those women as well. If you need any kind of support, I see that you are struggling. Please stop telling everyone that you are a millionaire. You are not a millionaire. You are barely making it. I know you need help. I know you need legal services for your daughter. You know, your stories conflict too much for you to even be sitting here trying to tell everybody that you're telling the truth. So please stop. If you do need assistance, I will help, or I will put you in touch with someone who can help you. But you really need to clean it up, clean it up, and knock it off, because it's out of control. I understand that tarot cards are, you know, up to your interpretation, but this whole like lovers and no, that is not true. That was not true. And if you need me to go through the rest of the translation, baby, I can do that for you. All of them. I got them all right here. I did the whole deck for you. And confirmation for everyone as well, honey. So don't play. Do not play. You will lose. Okay. And I understand I am not your parent, and I'm not your parent. Okay. So I have no reason to be extra nice or sweet or sugarcoat shit for you. Okay. I'm voluntarily trying to help you. I will give you tough love and genuine support at the same time. Check me out. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter. I'm all over the internet. You can find my movies. I'm in the adult industry. I am also in the standard sphere. I've been around for 25 plus years in Los Angeles, as well as Las Vegas. I have been around in every sphere that you can imagine. I may not be as well known on YouTube, but that's just because I don't fucking care about YouTube. But I've been around. So believe me when I tell you, I mean, I run my own magazine called Symbols. I've had 4 magazines. One was Devour, huge. You know, I keep my mess small and tight, but I'm here for you if you really need some help and assistance. But let this be a lesson to all of you out there who try to be something that you're not. It can be dangerous, and you do not know who you're hurting. And the only thing that you can do is be yourself. Being yourself is what is going to take you the furthest in life. this world, especially the world of reality TV, you will not survive if you are not authentic, not for long. You won't make it. You'll be a flash in the pan, and you'll be a laughing stock. People will remember you, but not for the good stuff. That's why Jocelyn's been around for so long. As much as people love to hate that girl, you can't say anything really bad about her. She is who she is. She's real. Cardi B, same thing. Real. Crazy, real. We are who we are. Cannot pretend to be somebody else, not for long. Sorry, it doesn't work that way. But anyway, y'all, let me keep that out. Hopefully this helps someone. I don't know who it will help, but again, Miss Gaia Love, this is for you. Authenticity matters. Wake the fuck up, please. Do better. I'm out.